Momentum will be the last in for the Ascot Derby, the King Edward VII Stakes Group 2 contest over the classic Derby trip of a mile and a half, and they're sent from the stalls. And Elector far swifter to break out. The horse was to go down to the start, but James Godolphin doesn't want to press the nettle, and early on the pace is not strong. Ra Atoll sets it, Rostropovich being sent forward, rousted along to do so, and just holds Old Persian 3 wide as they run downhill. The Royal Runner in the scarlet sleeves in 4th place, Electra on the outside of the white cap of Giuseppe Garibaldi. Midfield for Highbrow, who covers up Delano Roosevelt. Back to Wells Fargo, who's very keen on the descent. It's the horse in the red cap, and the rear of the field is Alternative Fact. So the pace is not overly strong. Ra Atoll, Frankie Dettori just doing enough to maintain an advantage as they'll now begin the swinging right-hand turn. Staying off the rails at the moment, Old Persian is in 2nd place. Rostropovich racing in 3rd with Electra on the outside of Giuseppe Garibaldi. Delano Roosevelt on the inside at this stage of Highbrow. Still Wells Fargo in a well-bunched field with Alternative Fact. So Frankie Dettori, can he ride early on here on Ra Atoll, just keeping the horse in hand and just doing enough to maintain the advantage? Something comes to him, he just increases it slightly. Every time they don't, he drops anchor, and he's stacking them up here on Ra Atoll. In 2nd place is Old Persian, the trail in for Rostropovich on the inside of Elector. Giuseppe Garibaldi, purple and white with the white cap, highbrow, blue colours, white face. White face for Delano Roosevelt with the purple cap, Wells Fargo and Alternative Fact. So now they're stretching on towards the final 5 furlongs. They're past halfway. Dictated by Ra Atoll by half a length from Old Persian in 2nd. Rostropovich with the white face, blue and orange, racing in 3rd place, just ahead of Elector. Then Giuseppe Garibaldi. Behind these Highbrow, Delano Roosevelt, Wells Fargo, and still last is Alternative Fact, where Ra Atoll will have few excuses. Had a soft time on the front end. Now Old Persian, for the first time, just tries to apply a little bit of pressure. Rostropovich and Elector will be the next 2 to straighten as they make their way for home. Now Ra Atoll being taken on by Old Persian. The 2 heads locked together, tussling for the lead. In 3rd place is Elector, the Royal Runner, just shifting out Giuseppe Garibaldi. Old Persian, Ra Atoll trying to stay in the game, but he's now half a length down. Giuseppe Garibaldi and Rostropovich, and then the Royal Runner Elector, and they're away from Delano Roosevelt. Old Persian has got to the front from William Buick. Giuseppe Garibaldi, Rostropovich, and on the inside Ra Atoll. Old Persian trying to hold off the cavalry, and it's Old Persian who will win the Ascot Derby. Old Persian beat Rostropovich, Giuseppe Garibaldi and Ra Atoll. It didn't go the way of that rear division. Delano Roosevelt led them home with Wells Fargo, and dying on the run really was Elector. Alternative Fact and Highbrow never showed. To be in a good place there was to weed towards the front, and William Buick, who's had a very productive Royal Ascot, chipping away with winners, has got another one to his name. He came past Ra Atoll and has won at 9-2. Rostropovich is once again best of the Irish, but once again they don't win this race. Giuseppe Garibaldi was 3rd. Ra Atoll, who had every chance, as well in 4th. It didn't go the way of 5th placed horse Delano Roosevelt, who needed a stronger gallop. But William Buick, content to sit passively outside Ra Atoll, turned things in favours of those that were well forward in the run, and it was Old Persian who was good enough to take advantage.
Charlie Appleby won the Derby. Now he's won the race known as the Ascot Derby. What a spell that trainer is having. It looked like Frankie had it on his own at the front, but Will Buick never let him out of his sights. And Old Persian wins it, and Charlie Appleby comes to join us. Come in here, Charlie. What an extraordinary spell you are having at the moment. You'll be pinching yourself.
Yeah, look, obviously, on the back of last year, I won't repeat myself too much and bore everybody, but we had a great team of 2-year-olds, and I felt they all went well, and they all came into the spring in great nick. And this horse has done nothing but progress through the spring.
And Will always had him in a good spot here, didn't he?
Yeah, we're all confident to come out. And Will, like I said, Will, just jump out and let this horse, go forward with him. If there's something to take a lead, then we'll be delighted. If you saw Will there, I think he made a great manoeuvre there. After the last, first 2 or 3 furlongs, he just got in front and just sat on Frankie's courses. Frankie on the front end, we always know is dangerous. But this horse, once he hit the front, I was confident he'd see this out well, and delighted for the team.
That's now his 5th win from 8 starts. He's really consistent. What do you think the future holds for him?
As we all know, you know what my phrase is. We'll enjoy today and we'll regroup over the next week or 2. But
the best thing about him, you're saying there, he has been adaptable in the race, so he's got pace as well as stamina.
That was the thing. I was so pleased. You know, half a mile out the way they were travelling, I say, when Frankie looked between his legs, and I just thought, well, we're travelling very well. And I just knew that this horse has been a winner over a mile and a quarter, and he's quickly got over a mile and a quarter.
Who's this, Charlie? Is that Jenna?
That's Jenna and Chris. So that's Jenna. She rode him as a 2-year-old. She'd hold her own hands up. He got a bit too much of a horse for her, but she carried on looking after her. So I'm delighted. The whole team. Well, that's all about everyone having a bit of fun.
Your two were like, just very quickly, Blue Point come out the race well?
Yep, delighted. All being well, now we head towards the July Cup.
And Massa, all guns aimed at the Eclipse?
That's correct, yes. No, very pleased with him. He, again, taking his run very well, and he's done a nice little nice canter this morning, and he'll do a bit of work tomorrow, and then we'll head towards the Eclipse, all being well.
The season you're having. Well done. Thank you. Go and greet your winner.
Thank you very much. Very kind. Thanks, Dean.
And the winning rider, William Buick. The Derby and Epsom fell your way. The Ascot Derby's come your way with a horse who was in front long enough today, wasn't
he? He was. Charlie has always said he wants a mile and a half, and this is his first time over the trip, so you know, we hoped that he would improve for it, and he did. And the pace was slow, so you know, I was in a position where I could do something about it when I wanted to, and you know, I had to take it off because he's got such a big, lovely stride, you know, and I didn't want to turn it into too much of a sprint, so he had a very, willing partner, and he saw that well to the line. He's a lovely horse with a huge heart.
From your position, is he a mile and a half horse? Could he be a Ledger horse?
Yeah, he gets a mile and a half well. We'll see what Sheikh Mohammed and Charlie want to do with him, but he's certainly run a big race day over the trip.
So many great middle distance options for the team. Well done, Will. But I've got to have a word with this young lady, Jenna, who was crying when they hit the line, if you don't mind me saying, Jenna. And he's still full of life.
I know, it can go again.
What's he like? What's his character?
He's a big softie. He really is, yeah. Yeah, he thinks he's a boy, but he's as soft as anything. He's lovely.
How much does this mean to you to win with him at Ascot?
I can't even put words into it. I can't describe.
Your face paints 1,000 words. Anyway, well done.
Thank you.
Jenna absolutely thrilled, and rightly so. And Will Buick, that makes it 3 for him on the week. 1 behind Frankie. He was 21 at the start of the day to be top jockey. He won't be anymore. And Dubawi, by Dubawi, old Persian, the absolute standout stallion, really, for Godolphin at Darley.
Yeah, very much so. He's the flag bearer for their breeding operation, and really has in the past challenged the dominance of Galileo, but they're all very similar looking, Dubawi. Often very bay, very plain, very little white markings on them, and all got great attitudes and great temperament, which makes them superior racehorses.
And at the moment with Godolphin, they are resurgent, but it's very much the man we just spoke to for Sheikh Mohammed at the moment, Charlie Appleby. Saeed will be keen to get on the board.
It's very important. It is a team effort, but of course from your own perspective, he's gonna want to get something striking as far as Saeed's team are concerned. Charlie's in great form, great to see, good squad, horses are hot at the moment.
Do you think Sheikh Mohammed knows I had a winner from at Ripon on Tuesday night?
Hopefully.
Go and tell him, Hayley.
He does now.
So I think blue suits me.
You go and tell him and remind him, and we'll get the result.
You're absolutely right, though, team. There is competition between Saeed and Charlie, although Saeed will be sitting fairly happy this year. He won the Dubai World Cup, and that, of course, is huge for Sheikh Mohammed. Old Persian was 11-2 this morning, backed into 92, and the fascinating thing about the breeding side of him in some ways is that the legends for Sheikh Mohammed, Dubawi, and the Sara, the dam of this horse, Singspiel, well, neither Dubawi or Singspiel actually ever managed to win at this track, which, when you think of those two horses and how good they were, is a bit of a surprise. Rostropovich at 7-1 and Giuseppe Garibaldi at 15-2. 9 ran. I'm off to send Bran to get me 1 or 2 Garibaldis.
And Helly, watching the race back into the straight, it was a rough old race at times, wasn't it?
It was. I think Will's horse has just come under pressure here. He's got his stick in his left hand. The horse is just looking over to the rail, which is squeezed up Rattle. Will did put his stick down and straighten him up and pull it through. I've got a feeling he'll be in the steward's room, might get a caution for that.
And looking further back, the horse who finishes back in 5th spot there, Delano Roosevelt, he's not been suited at all to the way the race is unfolded. That's a great shot.
Yeah, Jenna, who Charlie told us all about.
I was just saying this morning about the William Buick and James Doyle and how they've really stepped up a level of a jockey, and they're in the gym all the time. They're so careful on what they eat, and it wasn't like that in your day, Jason, was it?
Certainly not anymore.
Moving on.
And Hayley, we've been talking a theme this week because we loved when Ryan and Frankie eyeballed each other. You were fascinating yesterday, so there might be a little wry smile from Ryan. And Frankie said they're flying up and down from Newmarket together. And Frankie's been up there, Ryan's been down there. Frankie was down there, and Ryan was up. Who's the best jockey in the world? Apart from Hayley Turner.
Oh, I hate it when you put me on the spot like this. I think internationally, jockey, I think Ryan is.
The others actually went for Frankie.
Frankie's.
And on that level,
I hope he's not watching it. Obviously, Frankie's amazing.
They're both brilliant. Listen, it's an unfair question. And also, Hayley, those other guys you talk about with Will Buick and James Doyle, they're catching.
And they're really good role models for the jockeys that are coming in and following them in the weighing room. That, you know, they're going down the gym and watching what they're eating. Everything's really changing in the weighing room recently with the physio. We're getting a lot more help. We're getting, you know, like the footballers have all this anyway. We didn't even have a mat to do stretches on, you know, and we're getting all them in now, which is really behind the times, but it's going that way now.
Taking it to the next level is how you have described it. Well done to Will Buick. He wins the King Edward VII Stakes. We've got so much on the way. We'll be switching to the main channel fairly shortly for Group 1 action in the Commonwealth Cup and then the Coronation Stakes and lots more. Remember the Aidan O'Brien feature with AP to come as well. But Godolphin have won the King Edward with the battalion from Ballydoyle looming, but old Persian held them off.